Tempus Novo. Some of you will have heard of us, even though we're a tiny little charity in the north of England. And I would argue that you've probably heard of us because of the Centre for Social Justice, actually. I will put this on because probably about 6 years ago now, I was working in prisons as a senior officer, and I got the opportunity to work in a multi-agency team with the police, probation, housing support, drug support. And as a prison officer, at that time I had 25 years in service, you become institutionalised pretty much like the prisoners. Most staff would agree with that. So I got the opportunity to come out of the prison walls and work in this multi-agency team where we were targeting the most prolific offenders in the community. It was a police initiative, but supported by prisons and probation, which you'd expect. It was very clever because everybody were in the same office, and I think a simple change like that can have a huge impact in terms of communication and motivation and getting the feedback on the results. Now the government agenda is reducing reoffending, and that's what we were doing as a team. And I thought to myself, it's okay reducing reoffending, but surely we want to stop it, if at all possible, with those who want with those who want to move away from a life of crime. And trust me, there are many. So I guess the Centre for Social Justice, and I'll give them another plug, were inspirational to the start of the charity Tempus Novo, because I read a report called Locked Up Potential, which was commissioned by IDS, I think, who were in the room not a minute ago. Now I'm feeling quite intimidated by it. And I looked at the author of the report, and it was Jonathan Aitken, former minister, former offender. And the other people that contributed, they were ex-lifers, prisoners, former public sector governors, former private sector governors, and I read this report and it blew me away. And I thought, wow, I'm actually in a position to be able to implement some of these suggestions through the multi-agency team that I was working with. And I did, and I contacted Jonathan actually, just to tell him that I thought the report were outstanding, and hopefully we could get some great results implementing certain parts of his report. And to my surprise, he came back to me and said, well, that's fantastic that somebody's ready. So we kept in touch thereafter. Then I got a year working with a very innovative and forward-thinking governor who came to Leeds called Paul Baker. Paul Baker is now the area manager of the London prisons. And Paul did something I didn't think was possible. They came into a jail that were built in 1847 that were operating with very similar principles, if I'm honest, to that era. And he changed the culture in about 18 months. Now I didn't think that were humanly possible. But from that, it really inspired me even more as to what could be done in the world of rehabilitation. Now in prisons, you get some governors who have got a security head and some that have got a rehabilitation. It's very rare you get both, and they were one of the rare breeds were Paul. So I stuck to him like glue for a little while. And he rang me up one day and said, I want you to be business development manager for Leeds Prison. And I said, business development manager? What does that mean? He said, go find out. So, in his style, he said, meet me at Ellen Road in the morning. Ellen Road? Which is a football ground for some of you that might know. 30 years ago, you'd have all heard of it. He said, put your suit on, meet me at Ellen Road, there's a networking breakfast, and I want you to deliver my message, which I'll brief you off. Everything all right?
Sorry, it's you stalker, don't worry.
So I met Paul and he gave me the brief. He said, right, Leeds Prison is now a community prison. Our doors are open to business people. I want you to negotiate with business people to give some of our offenders work placements. Okay, I'll do that. So I said about it and did a really successful job of it. And I learned so much in that year, it's unbelievable. it was like being reborn, if I'm honest. From being a prison officer on the landings, barking orders, to working with people who appreciated what you were doing, getting positive results, building relationships, which we'd done as an officer, but not quite to this level. Part of that journey, my co-founder, Val, was running the print studio in the prison. And I knew it was one of the best run workshops in the prison, so I always dealt with CEOs or directors, decision makers in the business to speed things up. Invited them into the prison, showed them around Val's workshop, and simple little things happened, and I could see it developing. The prisoners were fascinated because there was a new face in there, and they'd say, "Who's this boss? Is he a new governor?" And I said, "No, actually, this gentleman's an employer who's looking at giving ex-offenders interviews on the release." "Really? Can I shake your hand, sir?" "That's great." And you could see them just go, "Wow, they're human beings. Well, these people are human." So that was a big breakthrough, actually. And also because Val were running the workshop with an iron rod, they were all working very hard. So the employers were quite impressed with what they saw, actually, and it opened doors. And that 12 months came to an end, and I went to see Val and with my tail between my legs and said, "I'm back in, the funding's gone for that position, I'm coming back into the prison." And he said, "You've got to carry on doing this work." And I said, "What do you mean carry on?" I said, "I've just explained to you, I'm back in the prison." He said, "No, you're not listening to me. You must carry on doing this work." He said, "You're too good at it not to." And I thought, he's right, actually. I'm too good at it not to. He says, "And I'll help you. Somehow we'll find a way." Now, bear in mind, working in prisons and working with prisoners outside of work isn't really the done thing. So we had quite a bit of, shall we say, bureaucracy to work through. But we did it. And then we left the service early to pursue our dream, which is Tempus Novo. And to date now, I think we've got 120 ex-offenders into sustainable employment.
Wow.
Of which
94. So 94 are either still in work or have completed 6 months.
Yeah, I think if somebody had said to me when we had the vision, you'd be sat next to the prison's minister in a few years, I'd have said, "No, he'll be sat next to me." But no, it's in all seriousness.
And you're buying the drinks.
You'd be lucky, Sam. No, no, but
If someone had said to me, "You'll have 35 local employers who'll all open their doors willingly
yeah.
to give an ex-offender an interview," I'd have had you drug tested, because I knew how difficult that was going to be. However, we've now got businesses coming back to say, "We're recruiting any more great guys," because the flip side of all this is that when you take someone out of the gutter, which a lot of people are coming out of prison, there's many offenders have said to me, the prison isn't the really difficult bit. It's not pleasant, of course. The difficult bit is when I leave.
Yeah.
That's when the sentence starts for me, especially where employment's concerned. So when they find that we actually operate in that space and we broker an interview, you can see the director's so grateful that they become so loyal to that employer. I think John's a fine example of that. And they want to please. And we've got examples that I could show you of productivity charts from warehouse work where Chris, one of our guys,
Steve, I'm keen
I'll
to
finish up.
I'm keen to allow time for questions more than anything.
yeah, I'll just finish up with this.
I will.
Paul won.
He,
3 minutes.
Here we go.
Chris Sutcliffe showed us his, he couldn't wait to show us it, his productivity chart. He packed 91 boxes in a day, and the nearest one to him was 58. So you can imagine the supervisor of that shift's ringing us up saying, "Next time we recruit, please can you send some through?" Anyway, that's it. Thank you.
No, thank you, Steve. Thank you. So I know.